All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Bagash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone and Ruel. Peace and blessings and much salutation to you, elect Daki. I'm across the four winds of this earth, kicking this word in sincerity and in truth. All right, we're out here another day to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, America, which according to the scriptures is Mystery Babylon. All right, the daughter of Babylon, which you had the chief nation ruling, which is the nation of Edom. All right, or Edom. Okay, which if you can receive it, it's the so-called white man. Okay, now Salaki, we got started so late. Was intended to go to the normal spot, but you know, you got rude Jake that'll just had exterior, don't give a dang about what you're doing, so we had to switch location. Shalom to y'all on the comment board. All right, but today within this sermon, all right, we're gonna go into martial law. All right, because that's something that's coming very soon. Okay, I was speaking to one of the brothers yesterday. All right, and he was like, "Man, you ever watched the movie Bushwick?" And it's a movie from, I don't know if brothers seen it or not. Certain of you brothers might have seen it, but it's a movie on Netflix. It's called Bushwick. All right, and it's based on a neighborhood in New York, which is Bushwick. All right, and it's pretty much troopers coming in out of nowhere. The beginning of the movie, you got Issachar and his woman walking in the subway, walking around, talking. They getting ready to go to their grandma's house, and they were looking around like, why ain't nobody here? And they just chilling, and all of a sudden, just hell break loose just instantly, like in the beginning of the movie. You know, it's crazy when you watch it. You'll know what I'm talking about. And if you watch that movie, and if you in the spirit and scriptures don't come to your head, man, I don't know what to tell you. You know, but through the spirit that inspired this sermon today, because that's something that's coming to the streets of America very soon. All right, and you people are walking around like, matter of fact, 1 Thessalonians 5, people are walking around like nothing's about to happen, man. All right, you got all these other nations that's leaving alliance with America. All right, and they just think that they're just leaving for no reason, man. These other nations are leaving alliance with America because they have issues and odds with America, man. All right, and best believe they're going to join forces with Russia to perform the prophecy that was written of by the prophet Ezekiel in Ezekiel the 38th chapter. But people are walking around blind as all hell right now, just like in that movie. And when hell breaks loose on these streets, they ain't going to know what to do, man. All right, that's why it says in Matthew the 5th chapter, we're going to laugh at these people we're going to laugh at these people in that day. When they mourn, we're going to laugh. All right, you got it? You can start from the top on that. Right?
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, we have no need that are right unto you.
Right, reason being, because we understand what's going to come, man. All right, the thing about it is, Paul was writing that particular letter to the church of Thessalonica. All right, which he's also writing it to us today in this day as well, man. And the reason why he didn't have to explain too much about that, because those men understood the prophecies. We understand the prophecies. We know what's written of in the prophecies. We've been taught it. We've received it through the Holy Spirit. All right, because ultimately, in order to understand the words that's written up in this book, all right, you have to have the Holy Spirit dealing with you, man, which is power at the end of the day. So those men understood the power in those scriptures, and they understood the prophecy that was to befall amongst the wicked kingdom, man. All right?
For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
That's right, and that's why I wanted that precept brought out. Because what does a thief do when he comes? A thief ain't going to step hard when he comes. First of all, he's going to come at night when everybody's sleeping. He ain't going to knock at the door neither. All right, he's going to try to pry a window open, or whatever the case is, and go and take stuff while you sleep, man. That's what says the thief at night. All right, just like in the ancient world, you had particular thieves, all right, that would come and take sheep, and they would do it at night. All right, they would come in, and they would have multiples of them, and they would take sheep and hand them to their partner over that fence or over that wire. All right, and you look at it today, man, the Lord said he's going to come like a thief in the night. Not that the Lord is a thief, we understand that he's not a thief, but these people are out here in a sleep state of mind. You people are in a deep state of hypnosis, man. Start with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because that's who this word is designed to be distributed unto, man. But you ain't going to receive it. So the Lord is going to catch you while you sleep, man. Walking around like ain't nothing that's getting ready to happen, man. Walking around heavy into your idols, your idol worship, all right, within that energy of Babylon, man. A lot of you people claim to believe in the Lord, but as soon as the Lord come back, man, you ain't gonna know what to do. You ain't preparing yourself for the coming of the Lord. All right, you got certain people that came up with the acronym of the Bible, basic instructions before we're leaving the earth. Which we understand that's not what the word Bible means. People allude that acronym, whatever it's called, pretty much they allude those. You got something gonna say? They alluded to themselves. They ain't even following those instructions, man. That's why when the Lord comes, he's going to be justified. He's going to be justified with the sacrifice that he's going to do in America, man. And it's going to consist of a lot of you bodies that are out here, man. That's why you read it in Revelation of the 14th chapter. He goes into that sacrifice. He goes into how he's going to reap. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Yeah, man. And a lot of the people walk around like peace and safety, man. They getting ready to celebrate Christmas. They just filled their bellies on Thanksgiving. You got this whack-ass Christmas tree sitting out here, which we always go into every year. All right? But you got people that walk up there, they take, and they don't believe destruction's coming, man. They believe it's going to be peace. They don't envision destruction coming to America. They think this place is going to run forever. Like it's written up in Psalm the 49th chapter, man. They don't understand that this place is screwed. All right? They think it's going to be peace and safety. And that's the mentality of mainly you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. As soon as you continue to think in that, the time of the Lord is getting ready to be fulfilled, and that's when your destruction's going to happen, man. You know? Just like on that movie Bushwick. They walking around in that subway. Oh, man, let's go to Grandma's house. Where's everybody at? And then there was this person running down the subway steps caught on fire screaming, man. Bro, that's within the first 2 minutes of the movie. It was like, we gotta help him. That dude was like, hell no, it's something bad happening. Right. You know? But it's gonna be like that in that day. You know? You got it.
As travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Yeah, man, the thing about it is, you got doctors that are pretty much diagnosed. They'll diagnose when a woman is getting ready to have a baby. They'll give you the certain month, you know? But there's certain times when it could be a month in advance or a month prior. Or the child could be born 6 months and be put into an incubator. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we don't know. The woman don't know exactly when she's gonna have that baby. When she starts having those contractions, that's when she knows the time is soon. And we see out here in the streets of America, man, you got those birth pains taking place. All right, martial law is getting ready to hit these streets, man, and these people don't understand that, man. Evil's getting ready to come to this place, you know?
Verse 4, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a people.
And who's that's likened to, man? That's likened to the elect, all right? That's likened to the elect. We're in darkness because we have the scriptures, Lord, when the widow's men, all right? But we have the light, we have the understanding that our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach had given us, man, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ. All right, we have that knowledge, man. We ain't in darkness. That's why Paul written in that verse saying, I don't really got to write these things unto you because you already knew these things. That's the light that's been given unto us, man. All right? Come on, brother.
This is what the elect is doing. We ain't got to looking for it. Second Esdras 9:1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told you before, come. Then shalt thou understand that at the very same time when the highest begins to visit the world which he made. So as the brother going into, we're seeing the signs right now. We're seeing the signs right now. These things, these signs, all these things that are happening in America right now across the world, they're prophesied in the Bible.
That's right. That's
right. No one's really taking heed except a small number of people.
That's right.
And they're of the nation of Israel. Not everyone's going to get this.
That's right.
The Bible is not for everyone.
Right.
It's only for you Israelites, when you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
That's right.
Okay? And so what are the signs that the Lord prophesied about? Wars and rumors of wars. There's so much war and turmoil on earth right now, it's unreal. That's happening for specific reasons.
That's right.
People are sad, people are protesting, people are trying to stop them. Man, no. If you believe in the Bible, this is your salvation.
That's right.
But again, you have to be an Israelite. But if you believe in the Bible, you should be looking for these things to come.
Right.
That's what the Lord is talking about.
Right.
That's a sign of his coming back. Okay? To deliver us.
That's right. You know, you got a lot of people that claim to believe in the Bible, but they get ready to celebrate Christmas, man. All right? That's idol. That's idolatry, man. They'll say that that's the Lord's birthday. Right. No documentation about that at all. But that goes back to the worship of Osiris, Isis, and Horus, man. Which at the end of the day goes back to Nimrod, Ishtar, and Tammuz, man. All right, that's what that tree is symbolic for. Okay, and really, when you go into ancient customs, all right, heathen customs, those Canaanites were sacrificing their children under that green tree. And when you go into the history of I believe when you read about the prophet Isaiah, I believe it's written of in Isaiah the 54th chapter. All right, he goes into pretty much how King Ahaz was going into the sacrifice of the evergreen tree, because around the time of Isaiah's prophecy, he had prophesied around the time of King Ahaz, which was the king of, which was the father of Hezekiah. And Ahaz was sacrificing, he sacrificed one of his children under that tree, man. And that's what that goes back into at the end of the day, man. But going back to the point that that precept that that brother had let out, going into measuring the time diligently within itself, we understand we don't know the hour. We understand we don't know the day. Even Yahweh Shai doesn't know the hour nor the day, but the Heavenly Father. But we've been given that spiritual eye salve to be able to see the things that are taking place, to be able to look at prophecy according to the scriptures and look at what's coming to pass right now, and understanding that the time is right now, man. That's why the Lord said, you know, you all see when the east wind coming, you know, a storm is getting ready to come. How can you see these things, but you can't see the coming of the Son of Man? Right. All right, because these people are spiritually blind, and they own wickedness at the end of the day, which is darkness. Okay? You got it, brother.
Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
And we seeing that, man. You know, Apostle Tahar is constantly putting lessons out going into this place is on fire. Spain is on fire. All these areas, you have martial law that's taking place. All right? You have people over there. So,
France, China, all of them.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, people, you got random people that are out here that have weaponry shooting at those troops. Throwing Molotovs out there. People are dying. It's only a limited time that you people out here in America can just walk around like nothing's about to happen, man. The Lord is getting ready to bring mass judgment over here to the streets of America, and it's prophesied to happen, man.
Right.
You know?
The scriptures refer America as a place that dwells without care.
That's right.
It's land of unwalled villages when you read in the book of Ezekiel and Jeremiah. So that's strategic, man. That's why America hasn't been touched yet.
Right.
He saved the best for last because America is Babylon the Great according to the scriptures.
That's right.
And so that final, the destruction and desolation is coming is saved for America, man. That's why everything else is happening around America.
That's right.
And it's all going to hit America all at once, man.
Like when you go into that movie, back to that movie, and when you watch it, man, like it was really there was truth. It was more so like a civil war. You know, when you had certain states like Texas, Pennsylvania, Maryland, it was more so those southern states, and they had gathered a lot of troops, and a lot of those troops were Edomites when you watch the movie. You know, there were Edoms, you know, and when they had actually captured one and leaked that information, they was like, why are you doing this? They was like, we're aiming at these poor cities. We're aiming at these poor cities that has a lot of minorities in them, all right, and we're trying to kill them off, you know. Now the thing about it is, it ain't gonna matter about what city you in when all hell breaks loose. All right, because it's coming to the whole country, you know. But it just puts you in that mind state when you watch that movie. It puts you in that mindset of what's to come. You know, you had civil unrest taking place. You know, it was hell on those streets. People dying, dead bodies everywhere, man. That's why it's written up in the book of Nahum. It says there's so many dead bodies that, you know, they're everywhere, man. It says the horses trample over their dead bodies when you read about that. All right, you read about it in Revelation, the 14th chapter. It says there's going to be so much blood out here on these streets. It's going to go up to a horse's chest. All right, and people don't consider this. All right, you Jakes don't consider this, man. But it's written up in the Bible. The people think that the Bible is just a book where it's his PG, you know? It's a rated G book, man. No, the Bible is graphic, bro.
Mature adult.
That's right. Yeah.
It's all for the understanding of the mature man. It's not
right. That's right.
But there's a lot of offensive things that are in the scripture.
That's right, brother.
You know, that's why the Lord said, blessed is he who shall not be offended in you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
The word is offensive. And it steps on toes, man.
Right.
It talks about whole nations getting destroyed.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Women getting ravished, right? Kids being put to death, kids being sacrificed, man. You know, but the brother said the Bible's not PG or G or any of that, man. You know, it's for the mature and the mature mind and spirit, you know?
That's right. That's right.
Back in the 2 Ezra 9 and 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, uproars of the people in the world, which brother went into, that's what we're seeing, man. That's a prophecy back to the 24th chapter. Earthquakes in diverse places, man. That's right. There's been hella earthquakes right here in DFW in Texas.
Straight up. Straight up.
2015. Whether it's Esau doing the fracking with the oil or whatever, man, you still feeling earthquakes in there. That's right. You don't feel earthquakes.
It's still prophecy. That's right.
Still prophecy, nonetheless, man. That's a sign of the coming, man.
Yeah.
You know? This shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Hey,
he said, then shalt thou well understand, man. He ain't say it was going to be a foggy understanding. He said, thou shalt well understand. And it makes me think back to the precept concept that was brought out before in 1 Thessalonians 5 when Paul said, I don't got to write these things unto you, for you know these things. All right, it's a well understood thing, man. And it goes to show you the validity of the Apocrypha as well, man. Because, yes, Yahushua had spoken that in the New Testament, but he was alluding back to what the prophet Ezra had spoken of right here in the Apocrypha, man. All right? And again, the men of understanding, we understand these things, and that's why we're set here on these corners to preach these things, man. All right? That way the blood is off of our hands, man. And you read about that in Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter. Right. You know?
It's also to build up the elect, build up that house,
right,
man.
That's right.
Because when it's time for martial law, we're not going to be able to be out here to preach and edify. At that time, the word is going to have to be in you, man. You're going to have to have faith and assurance, and you're going to have to be able to recite scriptures and play that in your mind. When you come to time of trouble, man, that word is going to have to be that guidance in that life, man. That's right. When it's darkness out here, it's going to be complete darkness, because the light's going to go out, you know what I'm saying? And then it's just going to be a dark, evil time.
Right.
We're going to play that damn Jacob struggle.
That's right. That's right. Hey, man, I'm put it like this. It's easy to practice things right now when you ain't catching tribulation, man. Right. All right, but as soon as you see people running around on fire, all right, dead people in the streets, dead children that was tossed out of windows, having, half exploded babies laying on the side, man, don't look like shit. That's when you're gonna really have to trust, because it's gonna get wild out here in these streets, and these are things that had happened in history. But you read it in Daniel the 12th chapter, it talks about the time that's to come can't be compared to the times or those accounts that had happened in history. You can't compare what's getting ready to come to America to 70 AD. You can't compare that to when Antiochus had seized the city of Jerusalem and polluted the temple. You can't compare it to when Nebuchadnezzar had came and in those other daughter cities of Babylon, burnt Jerusalem with fire, starting with the nation of Edom. You can't compare what's getting ready to happen to America to those times. That's why when the priest that just mentioned that we got to be able to practice these things and really fully trust right now, man. Because when that time comes, man, that's what's going to separate, I should say, the men from the boys. If you believe or if you didn't believe. And that's why you got to constantly pray this day that the Lord gives us a spirit of strength so we can be able to endure those things that come right now, man. If we fainting on tribulation that we catching right now, there's no way that we're going to be able to make it when all hell breaks loose in these streets, man. Because you're going to have people that are coming with guns to your face, man. When you watch that movie, bro, there were mercenaries that was in those streets that was shooting people on the spot, bro. And there's going to come time when that could very well possibly happen to you. It could very well happen to us, man. But we got to have full trust and assurance that the Lord can intervene right there at that moment, man. Man, read Psalms 18. Whenever you got spare time, read Psalms 18, man. Read 2 Samuel, the 23rd chapter. When David talked about how there were troops surrounded by him and the Lord had sent the chariot right there and delivered him right there at that moment, man. Read 2 Kings, the 6th chapter. When he listened and his servant was compassed by troops and they looked up and there was chariots all over the place and they had stricken all those soldiers with plagues, man. The Lord is going to do these things, man. But we got to have full trust that he's going to be able to intervene like that. He said he was going to lift up that standard, But you people that are out here that don't believe, that are walking around in darkness, you people are through in that day, man.
Everyone else is not going to have that purpose in heaven promise. And that's why he told Elijah, I have reserved 7,000 and 9,000 in Baal.
That's right.
So the Lord has reserved a specific number. That number 7 goes back to being complete. Right. So he reserved a specific amount of men that wasn't going to bow down, that he was covering that day. He was going to move in the spirit, man. Right. And that's the 144,000, okay? Along with the rest of the nation. That's right.
That's right.
I got a piece of 40 time, brother. 2nd Ezra 16. And so that's 7. But there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
Every city, man. Go ahead.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. That's a great thing. That goes into how we're going to be persecuted that day, man. Because he's even written in Revelation that some of us are going to get cast into prison, bro. We see what they're doing with YouTube right now, looking at all of our videos. Hey, they're going to try to find us. They even said it. They're going to try to find for every hate speech video that opposes the Child Protection Act. They're going to charge you $42,000 for every YouTube video that you have. Brothers don't even got $42,000.
And we all have, well, a lot of us should have multiple videos on our page, man. So they're gonna look at it and they're gonna tax and tax and tax and tax and tax, which clearly shows that Esau's a hypocrite by the end of the day. Because when you go to the 8th Amendment, you can't do that excessive tax, you know, but they're gonna try to do that to us. So a lot of them are gonna try to cast us into prison, man. Those are life sentences right there, bro. You know? So what are we gonna do when that day comes? And then not even just to the Child Protection Act, but when those troopers are coming in, you know, they're kicking doors in, you know, they're aiming for us mainly, you know, because wait, we're a pestilent nation to these people. You know, just as Paul was considered a pestilent fellow, just like Elijah was considered a pest unto Jezebel and Ahab, and they tried to kill him, and he had to run. Remember, Elijah had to run, and he didn't eat nothing for 40 days and 40 nights because he was on the constant run. You know, that's gonna happen to all of us, man. So we gotta trust the Lord is gonna protect us, but those people are gonna try to come in and take you, man.
And also on the side note, hey, you Christians read the Bible too, man, because they're gonna have to try to outlaw the Bible.
Beautiful.
So you Christians, your faith is gonna be tested as well, man. They're gonna have to see what you got, man.
Yep.
So-called call yourself in the Lord.
That's right.
You know, because the so-called white man can't use the Bible anymore the way he do.
Right.
The Israelites have the spirit and how much outside brought the correct understanding of the Bible, man. So now they see it as hate speech. But just read the Bible.
Yeah.
So what do you think they're gonna do, man?
Yeah.
They're gonna try to outlaw that.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right. They're gonna try to force you. They're not try, they're gonna force you to take that chip.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of you people don't talk about the chip neither, man. A lot of you Israelites don't talk about the chip, which is the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. In that day, they're gonna force that upon you, man. All right? And a lot of y'all are gonna think about your children, your household, your worldly possessions. And that's gonna be a true footnote if you trust in the Lord or not, man. You know, all this stuff is coming out here to the streets of America, man. Best believe it's coming to a theater near you.
For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen.
Then shall be known, like we're talking about, man. That's what's gonna separate the man from the boys. Those that choose to trust in the Lord, then trust in the harm that's coming, man. We gotta apply when the Lord says, fear not that can destroy thy body, but fear him that can destroy thy soul and thy body in hell, man.
Right.
All right, and that's the Lord. The Lord can do that, man. We gotta have that mind state that those 7 brothers had in 2nd Maccabees, the 7th chapter. All right, and they looked upon their flesh and they said, "It's cool. Forget that. We're gonna receive this another lifetime, man." All right, because the Lord is gonna bless us with new bodies anyway. So anything that this devil can try to throw at us, try to starve you, try to starve your children, whatever the case is, man, we gotta trust the Lord is gonna keep us suffice. All right, and bless us with the time that's to come within the kingdom, man. All right. Hey, there's certain times that I've heard brothers say, we talked about it. There's gonna be a time where your head is on a guillotine, and at that moment, your faith is gonna be tested. As soon as that guillotine goes down, bro, that guillotine could break into pieces, man. Those are things that are gonna happen to the men of the Lord if we believe. Now, certain men are gonna get their heads chopped off, man. But the Lord said pretty much, you know, he honors those that die in the faith. Loosely paraphrasing, you know, he says he finds great the death of his servants, you know? So whatever's coming, man, we gotta fully trust in the Lord, bro. Because the time that's coming is soon. It ain't gonna be no music out here in that day, man. It ain't gonna be no dancing. It ain't gonna be no jingle bells out there, man. It's gonna be straight chaos on these streets. All right?
Verse 73 again, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and that shall be tried as a gold in the fire. Oh, hear, O ye my beloved, said the Lord. Behold,
Oh, my beloved. That goes into the elect. All right, he's talking to the house of David, man. All right, hear, oh my beloved. All right, these are things that we got to take heed to, man. Because those that endure to the end, that Yahushua said, same shall be saved. And those that endure to the end are the beloved of the Most High. Because he had given them the spirit to endure that because he loved them.
Right, those sheer mercy to David, man. That's what David's name means. No, or not. We love him, man.
Right.
You know? So that he's talking, like the brother say, he's talking to the house of David.
Right.
That's right. You know? Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
There we go, man. And that's a faithful saying right there, man. Like we can't take stuff like that light. He said, behold, I will deliver you, man. You know? We can't take that stuff light. This is our shepherd we talking about. You know? And the thing about it is, and I did a lesson earlier, I got to post it. I did it on my ride here to camp. going into the importance of, or the trust that sheep had toward their shepherd back in the ancient world, man. All right? When a shepherd was leading sheep to different areas, man, those sheep could be in straits. You could have wolves or animals that could attack those sheep, and that shepherd had to hit that wolf, and they had to defend them, man. Those sheep were defenseless. Hey, in this day that's to come, in the flesh, we're going to be defenseless, man. There's going to be nothing we can do in the flesh that's going to prevent this stuff from happening, man. But just as those sheep trusted in that shepherd back then, because the shepherd had to go above and beyond to make sure those sheep were taken care of, we got to have our trust in our Lord that he's going to deliver us and protect us in that day, man. All right? These are things that we have to apply.
Daniel 12:1. And at that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people.
And Michael is the head of the host. All right? Just like you in the ancient world where you had a king, and the king had his army, and that army had that one particular mighty man, you know, that was cool with the king. You got Yahushua, and then you have Michael, which is the head over that host. All right? So you got it?
And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time.
These are things we got to consider, man. Well, these are things that the elect are considering anyway. You know, but I should word it like this. These are things that so-called Christians, people that claim to believe in the Bible, are not considering, man. Even so-called Israelites that know they're Israelites, man. You know, Yahshua did a lesson yesterday, all right, or it might have been, he posted it, I should say, yesterday, all right, going into how we're a sacrifice. And you got certain Israelites that know that they're Israelites, and that's it. You know, they think they're Israel, they know they're Israelite, and they don't practice cleansing their temples. You know, they don't read the scriptures. They just think they're Israelite, and that's all she wrote, that the Lord is going to deliver you. It's a lot more to this, man. When you know that you're an Israelite, man, you're making yourself accountable for the things that are going to take place here, man. You're holding yourself accountable, you know? So you got to step up and understand, man. And that time that's going to come, that time that's coming, bro, it's going to be horrific, bro. You got a lot of Facebook Israelites, a lot of Instagram Israelites. Best believe you're being monitored, even if you ain't in the camp. If you're a barbershop Israelite and you're on your phone posting stuff about Israel, you being monitored, dude. And when Esau comes and cracks down, your faith is going to be tested in that day, you know?
And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Written in the book, man. You know, Malachi chapter 3, verse 16, about the song. All right, because it says those that are found written up in the book, which goes to show you that the Lord has a book of remembrance. Hey, you remember what Yahushua said, man? He said, glory not that you have been given power to tread over serpents and scorpions, but rather glory that you are found written in the book, man. Written in the book of life, you know? Now, of course, we understand that we've been given power, and we're grateful that we've been given power to tread over scorpions and serpents, all right? But he said, rather joy ye in this. Not that you ain't supposed to glory that you had that power. Of course, we're happy we got that power. But he said, rather glory in this, that you're written in that book, man. All right? Because at the end of the day, that's the final thing. We want to be written in that book when that time comes, man. Because if you're written in that book, you automatically good. You're at that number. You're going to receive that new body. You're going to receive rulership in the kingdom of heaven, man. And that's what we ultimately want. That's what the elects are long for, man. Not in this whack-ass bodies, man. Not in this flesh where you can catch ailments. You got demons that try to attack you in the flesh, in your mind, whatever the case is. Surrounded by ignorance, you know. People walking up, oh, look at the tree. You know, forget that, man. This place is through. You know, now we're grateful that we've been given understanding, all right, because that's the power that we've been given to be able to tread over those scorpions and those serpents. And we're grateful for it, man. But within that, man, hey, we still got a job we got to do with endurance, man. But if we're found written in that book, we don't got to worry about ailments no more. We don't got to worry about being attacked no more. We don't got to worry about having to go to work, any of those things, man. We going to be good, man. And these are things that we have to consider while we're here, you know? You got a preacher? Oh, that Malachi? Yeah, I have it. Come on, brother.
Revelation 21:4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
And that goes to all Israel, man. But how much more can you apply this to the elect, man? When you look at what the men of the Lord are out here doing on this side, making themselves a sacrifice, you know, anybody could be doing anything on a Friday or a Saturday, cutting off the flesh. There's a lot of things that we have to sacrifice when we've been commissioned this task, you know? So, like I said a minute ago, how much more do you have to apply this to the elect that make themselves a living sacrifice, you know? That's why I said Yahushua in 2nd Ezra, when he was placing crowns on those men's head, it said some of them was joyful, some of them was happy, some of them was sorrowful, you know? There's no way you can compare that glory that we're going to receive, man, if we endure, you know?
So look at what I said, we ain't worry about demons, that's what you're going to work, all these different things. Like this is the result.
Right.
Okay? The Most High is going to wipe away all the tears, and there's not going to be more pain and sorrow or anything like that.
Right.
That's the goal, man. That's what you want to get to, man. You don't want to stay here. You want to get to that point where there is none of that.
Right.
The law and the commandments are in our hearts, in our minds, and we're programmed to not make any more mistakes and not to have any godly sorrow.
Right.
Or being punished or anything like that.
That's right.
Some people never have to enjoy that.
That's right, brother.
That's what you're understanding. So the Most High to bend down and wipe the face, man. And you're good to go. You know?
Right. And that's the fan, brother. Beautiful points, bro. You know, no more pain. Oh, you know how much pain the men of the Lord are going through right now, man? Brothers do their best with their health. Brothers eat healthy, you know? Brothers preaching the Lord. And you just got ailments out of nowhere, man. We have the best diets. We have some of the best diets than all these people that are out here. But then we're the most afflicted, man. That's why you read it in Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter. It says, I have found in the midst of thee and afflicted and poor people, man. We afflicted and poor out here, bro. Brothers just got ailments out of nowhere, you know? People walking around eating whatever the hell they want to. Hog head, cheese, pig feet, you know, eating squid, eel, and they good, live to be 135, you know? As soon as we accidentally eat something that might be laced with pork, you said it before, man, your head ready to explode damn near, man. Kidneys swelling up, your kidneys hurt, all these different things, man. If you consider yourself to be somebody that believes in the Lord, you should be wanting this place to be destroyed, man.
It's complete death and anguish all the time, man. You gotta worry about your kids. You know, some of them have old ladies. You gotta worry about your old lady sometimes. You know, you don't even have that thoughts, man. We have jealous thoughts.
Right.
But then there's also dudes that just holler at your own lady, bro, all the time. Pedophiles looking to take kids, man. But it's supposed to video a couple weeks ago. Broad daylight, a dude tried to snatch his woman's child out of the store. In broad daylight, dragging her through the aisle. The woman had to fight him off. That's how hard these demons are going right now, man. That doesn't mean that there's a demon on your ass. If you try to snatch a girl in broad daylight, in front of everybody, cameras and all.
Demon.
That is a demon, bro. You know, but people want to stay here and get the midst of all this, man. If people read the Bible, man, you should want from heaven, man.
What?
You know, but when the church teaches the kingdom of heaven, they teach that you're going to fly off in the world, in the clouds, and there's no more sex. He's just sitting there all day on the cloud, like a little baby in a diaper. No, man, you're going to have rulership on planet Earth according to the scriptures. That's what the kingdom of heaven is, man. You think that the white, so-called white man can amass all this wealth and run the world, but the true people in Heavenly Father are just going to go into the sky and not going to enjoy the grace that the Heavenly Father made?
The scripture said, oh Lord, the earth is made for our sakes, man.
Right. No. That's a good point, you know? So it don't make no sense. That's why the people in church don't want to see the kingdom of heaven come right now. No, man, we're looking for rulership and happiness to enjoy everything. We're going to travel, enjoy the creation.
This is the second time I'm laughing at this buck dancing nigga up here, man. Nigga, how he dancing hard playing that shit, the Jingle Bells. That's crazy. We just talked about that too, Jingle Bells. That might be why that nigga played it, man. Bro, that nigga buck dancing. With that Santa Claus shirt.
Nigga was dancing earlier, now he on the corner before.
Oh, man, bro. But this is what we want, man. And this goes to show you the kingdom of heaven ain't going to be up in the clouds, man. It's going to be on the earth. We're going to actually be able to enjoy the earth, man. This is Zechariah chapter 8, verse 1. Again, the word of the Lord of hosts came unto me, saying, Thus say Yahweh of hosts, I was jealous for Zion with great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. That's why we go through the things that we go through. That's why you see our people in the state that they're in right now, man. Because ultimately, the Lord put us through this, man. You got the weakest nation on the planet Earth, the most perverse nation on the planet Earth, ruling over us, man. That goes to show you that's the Lord that did this to us, man. All right, because if it wasn't the Lord, man, we'd have been able to dash their ass real quick and got their asses out of there, man. But this is a punishment that the Lord put us on.
We took off that spirit of fight off of us.
That's right.
We took it off of us, you know?
That's right. Zechariah 8:3. Thus saith Yahweh, I am returned unto Zion, and I will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called the city of truth, the mountain of Yahweh of hosts, the holy mountain. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, there shall yet, and this is in the kingdom of heaven, man, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with a staff in his hand for very age. In the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof, man. And when you were brought up out there with a child that was just taken out of the store, you know, you look on the milk carton, well, back in the day, I should say, because you don't see it too much today, you know, but you look on that milk carton, and it was missing children, man. All right? Today, man, you can't have your child just go down the street by themselves, man. You can't do that, because nigga, you got to worry about them getting abducted. All right? Even, I don't have any children, but this is what I've heard from brothers that have children. You know, they worried about sending their children to school because of the doctrine that's being taught to them, man. You got pedophilia being taught to them. You got... Yeah, that's right. You got transgenderism being taught to your children. Your children are being taught about anal sex. All right? They're being taught about all these things, man. And again, I'm not a parent, but I am an uncle. You know, so worrying about your niece or your children or your nephew, you know, going to schools and being taught this stuff, man, it's like, we got to get out of here, man. This has to be the last generation. This has to be the last generation, bro. Because that younger generation right now that's being taught, there's no way that they can last, man.
They can't be allowed to move. They can't be allowed to make serious decisions on planet Earth as a nation.
Right.
They won't nothing be here.
Right.
You know? As far as I can see. Now, the Lord can prolong it, but by the way things are going and they're rapidly escalating wickedness, the Lord is still about to get ready to put his foot down.
He's ready to lay that smack down on this place.
Put his smack down, his foot down on this place, and say no more. He'll come for snacking, man. And he's going to really start to kill people. You know?
That's right, brother.
You know, right. With the brother Red, man, that's talking about the kingdom. So there's not going to be a Jerusalem in the sky, man. And it says, it talks about kids. You're going to be having sex in the kingdom of heaven, man.
Beautiful point.
You know? Old people going to be walking around, kids going to be out in the streets. You're not going to have to worry about that because I have a daughter, man. I don't let my daughter ride bikes and do all that type of shit, man. I look out the window every 5 minutes to make sure they're still there.
Right.
In the backyard.
Right.
You know? In the 90s, when we rode bikes, we ride bikes all over the city.
You can go everywhere.
We went everywhere. You didn't have to worry about that. You can't do that now.
Yep.
You can't do nothing because of the time we're in.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
And you should be wanting a change to come.
That's right.
You know, like the song by Sam Cooke, change is gonna come. That's what you should be waiting for, man. That's to play out, man. On planet Earth, if you believe in the Bible.
Right.
Okay.
It's gone. Zechariah chapter 8, verse 5. In the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in my eyes, saith the Lord of hosts? So the Lord wants this to happen too, man. We envision these things to take place. We envision our children being able to play in the streets and not worry about being abducted, not worry about being taken and sacrificed to these idols, man. You know, being slain. You know, like, come on, man. All this fast food that's being sold out here, man, you eating children, man. Eating children, dog. You know? So the things that we desire, just as much as we want our children, our relatives to be happy, the nation, we want the nation to be happy, man. You know? But we understand that all of our nation ain't gonna be happy into the kingdom. But best believe it, we want it. How much more so does the Heavenly Father want this, man? But the reason why he's doing it is because his word can't return unto him null and void, man. We had to go through this. His jealousy had to be fulfilled on the planet Earth, man. These things had to happen to us for his will to be performed on the earth. You know?
Down by his word, so all these things have to play out.
That's right.
You know? It all has to play out to the team. But it's chess, man. Everything has to be strategic, how he laid it out.
Right.
You know? He put his word above his name so he can't skip steps.
Right. To
bring his people back. Though he loved us because that shows you love, man. John 3:16 for us, man. He sacrificed his only begotten son for the nation of Israel.
That's right.
For his people. You know? So he's bound by it. He has to let this play out. Though he loved us so, these things still have to play out according to his word.
That's right. That's right. That's it on that.
It's back in Malachi 3:16 before the call for. Because we read Daniel 12 chapter how those that will be delivered will be found reading the book, right?
Right.
Malachi 3:16. Then they that fear the Lord spake often one to another.
And part of fearing the Lord is looking at the things that's to come that the Lord is going to do to this place, man. The Lord is getting ready to bring heavy-duty judgment to this place. And we're supposed to fear the Lord that we're not caught up in this stuff, man. You know, and if we fear the Lord, what?
And the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him.
And I'm sorry, brother. And what does he hear? He hears the sacrifice that you're offering up, man. He hears the prayers that you're offering up unto him, man. The times that we're on the altar, on the highways and the hedges, the time that you do your lesson, the time that you pray that Babylon falls and our enemies fall, the time that you pray that the Lord delivers you from evil, the time that you pray that we get delivered up, the time that you pray that the Lord gives the spirit of truth unto you so you can preach. He hears all that, man. That you ask for a mystery Babylon to be destroyed. He hears all of that, man. And what is opened up? A book of remembrance is opened up unto him. And then what?
And the book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord.
For them that feared the Lord, man. And by the way, everybody ain't written up in the book of remembrance, man. It's only a select few choice names that are written up within that book. And that's the elect, man. That's the elect, because those are the only ones that are out here fighting for the Lord, man. They're the only ones out here praying unto the Lord to destroy this place, man. To bring judgment and hell upon this place. To be delivered up out of here. The elect are the only ones doing that, man. It only makes sense. It only makes sense to be delivered from Babylon, man. To pray to be delivered from Babylon, man. Like if you claim to be a person that believes in the Lord, why wouldn't you want that, man? Hey, you remember that lady that rides around with that Jesus sign? Before you came up here, when I was standing up there trying to get started, you know, that lady rolled, put that Jesus sign out the window, said, "Merry Christmas!" You stupid bitch. Excuse my language. But these people are gone, man. You know? Like, the main thing that you should want is to be delivered, man. These people looking at us say this is hate speech, man. If you really listen to us, man, and you believe in the Bible, you should really agree with this. You should be at complete agreement. No variance at all, man. And yeah, it sounds hurtful that we call out the devil for who he is, but look what he's done to the earth.
Right. Sticking up for righteousness, man.
Right, man.
We're the ones really sticking up and standing up for righteousness, man. That's Psalm 94.
That's right.
Who shall rise up against the evildoers, man?
That's right.
We're the only ones honestly doing that, man. We're sticking up for how the state of the earth is right now.
Right.
We're sticking up for what's going on across the planet Earth, truly and honestly, man. You know, complete utter the wickedness has engulfed the earth, man.
Right.
Everyone else is talking about Jesus, like the brother's going to Merry Christmas and all this type of stuff, man.
Merry Christmas, Jesus Christ.
We don't completely understand what these holidays go back to, man. You know?
Right, brother.
It's just last part of verse 16 was written before him for them that feared the Lord and thought upon his name.
Right, and especially when that time comes, man, the time of Jacob's trouble. You know, if we can get that, Papa Sean. But especially when that time comes, man, if you're thinking upon his name, you're good, bro. Because best believe, these people out here ain't gonna be thinking upon the name of the Lord, man. You know? And when they finally realize, a lot of you people that are Israelites that walk past us, scoffed at us, walk past, and when you finally realize that the stuff that we were saying were actually true, and those people are gonna try to call on the Lord, he's gonna turn his face away from you, man. You know?
It ain't gonna work because they scoffed at the name of the Lord. And then a lot of people gonna be wondering why. Why this happened? What did I do? Because you have no understanding of the scriptures, man. You have no understanding of this prophecy.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. I got a quick precept. I just turned to it as well. I was thinking, I looked right to it. This is Sirach chapter 18, verse 24. It says, "Think upon the wrath that shall be at the end, in the time of vengeance when he shall turn away his face."
You gotta think about that, man. Meditate upon that you don't be caught up in that. You know, prayers to Heavenly Father to keep you in the right spirit. Okay, that you can be protected from that in that time, man. You know, so
right.
Constant think about, because the scripture say that the Lord is terrible, but his mercy is equal to the way how terrible he is.
That's right. That's right.
You know, he's completely balanced. You know, if you get that real quick, Sirach 16.
I got it right here. This is Sirach chapter 16, verse 12. Okay. This is Sirach 16:11. And if there be one stiff-necked among the people, it is marvel if he escape unpunished.
Right, just the one stiff-necked among the people, it's marvel if he escape unpunished. That's why Scripture say, be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. Right. If he so, that shall he also reap. Galatians 6:7. So you're not gonna get away, man. Right. Mental or not. If you make a mistake, it's gonna. You may receive mercy to where you gonna get killed. You know. But the Most High still punishes. Like King David got punished, man, but he received mercy ultimately because he get put to death because the things that he did was warranted of death. Right. But he received mercy. But you don't get away. Also, you're not gonna. Something's gonna happen somewhere from the past, and the Lord's gonna get you back. That's right. You know. So just the elect. You know, we're being discouraged right now, so what we don't be put to death in that child. That's right. We're discouraged to learn. That's right. These other people, they're being set up to where they're doing up their task to where their ultimate judgment is going to be death. So it's a flip flop, you know.
This is Sirach. I'm going to start at the top 11 again. 16 and 11. And if there be one stiff-necked among the people, it is marvel if he escape unpunished. For mercy and wrath are with him.
Mercy and wrath are with him. He's complete balance, man. Go ahead.
He is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure.
Right.
As his mercy is great, so is his correction also.
Right. As his mercy is great, so is his correction. So he showed the ultimate mercy by bringing back the nation by sacrificing Yahweh Shah. Okay, for the whole nation. But his judgment and wrath is equal to that as well. Man. So you have to think upon those things.
The spoiled.
Right, and there's a lot of sinners going across the planet Earth, man. That's why Amos 9 says all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. Man. There's a lot of people that go through complete sin here, you know? Yeah. And these people are not gonna escape, man. So you should be thinking about that wrath that we're going around with Sirach 18, man, because hey, the Most High, as you can see on planet Earth, the Scripture said that the ways, the issue of death comes from the Heavenly Father. So the ways that people are being put to death, being judged, that's all from the Lord, man. That's right. Satan is just an employee. Yep. Carrying out certain things, but that's ultimately the judgment from the Heavenly Father, man. That's why he was called Allah Shaki. Right. Trail with evil like power, man. But then God Almighty. That's Allah Shaki in the Hebrew, man. That's what the other nations doing, man. It's terrible demon like power. That's why they used to go to the Lord like, man, pray to your God. Let this stop. Yeah. You know? That's right. Talking about Abraham and Isaac. You know, when they were saying they would tell the other nations that their woman was their sister. Like, bro, why you love me, man? You gotta get me smoked, man. You know, get out of here. Pray to your God and then get out of here, man. You know, because they knew the power of the Heavenly Father. You know? That's right.
Okay, I'm just a little more to that. This is just through the whole verse. It says, the sinner shall not escape the spoils, and the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated.
The patience of the godly shall not be frustrated. So, hey, we're doing this thing for a reward, man. Your patience is not going to be frustrated in the day. Okay? The Most High is going to say, the Most High is not going to forget our labor of love. You know, if we do this in truth and sincerity. So we're not going to be frustrated today. We just have to wait for and have patience to let this thing play out, right? You know, because these people are going to get their just desserts. They're going to get what's coming, man. These scoffers, okay? So-called white man, E-Diddy, E-Mites, these other nations, okay? All this wickedness is going to be paid back, but they're not going to escape with this alone. Right. You know? And then the reward of the elect seeing their enemies go down and being blessed with the power of rulership. And righteousness, you know? Right. It's back in Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
And that's a direct precept to Daniel 12, man. It says that day is great, and there's no day like this day. You know? And it says the time of Jacob's trouble. Because you Jakes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to be in very huge trouble in this day, man. All right, your guns ain't gonna save you. Jesus ain't gonna save you. You know, Big Mama ain't gonna save you in that day, man. You know, only the Lord can save. But around this time, that's when the Lord is gonna turn His face away from you, man. And His face is only gonna be directed toward His chosen, man. Those that constantly cried unto Him, making themselves a sacrifice. Those that believe on His name, which is Yahweh, and His Son's name Yahweh Shai, man. Not God and not Jesus, man. All right? Those that actually try. Those that are actually trying to do righteous, man. Because it's impossible to be completely righteous in a corrupt world. But those that are at least trying are going to be protected in that day, man. You're going to be protected in that day that's prophesied to come, that no other day in history is like another.
We made ourselves afraid of it.
That's right.
We're afraid that the righteousness is seen as weakness, man. And it's made us seen as prey.
Right.
So what do, man? You're the prey. That's why the scripture says Satan is walking around as a lion, seeking who may devour. He controls these people, man.
That's right.
So what we have to just lay ourselves down as sheep, man. Well, hey, but the Lord's going to protect the sheep, man.
Right.
But there's some that are going to have to lay their life down as the Lord did.
That's right.
So we're afraid of it, man. But the Lord's going to protect us.
That's right, brother.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
Yeah, man, the elect. It says, but he shall be saved out of it, man. All right? And that's the Israel of God, by the way, that shall be saved, man. You know? I find it ironic that it says he going into Jacob, you know, which is not talking about the patriarch Jacob, but it's talking about his seed, man. The elect out of his seed, man. You read about Romans the 9th chapter, Paul talks about that not all Israel is of Israel, man. You know? Because you even got a lot of people that are claiming to be Israel. That'll say, oh, I'm an Israelite. You know, man, there's this dude that I work with that know he's an Israelite, right? I mean, he's out there with it at the job, bro. Nigga crazy with it, bro. You know? And brother was intrigued in the stone right here that the brother made. You know, he was like, man, I like that stone, man. And I was like, hey, man, just let me know. I can contact the dude, you know, and see if he can send you. And he was like, yeah, man, that might be my Christmas gift. In my mind, I didn't even say nothing. I was like, hey, man, do your thing. I don't be going around, just, you know, hey, man, you do your thing, dog. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, I'm like, this nigga right here, man, this nigga gonna, you know? I said, man, that might be my Christmas gift, man. I was like, hey, that's what's up, brother. You know, just let me know when you're ready. Jake through, man. You know, you Americanized Israelites, man, are the worst. You know? When the Lord comes and brings his judgment, boy, he ain't gonna save you in that day, man. But the dude, I ain't gonna lie, he's a cool dude, you know what I'm saying? He cool. You know, he just, the Lord, if you don't repent,
wake up.
You know? Yeah, man.
A lot of cool people out here, they don't just smoke, man.
That's right.
Because they refuse to repent. You just can't just be cool, man.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta repent and come back, you know? That's why Paul said this. Galatians 6:16. And as many as walk according to this rule, peace be on them.
And that rule goes to measure, man. All right, and that measure goes into the list of instructions that's been given unto you. You got to walk within that measurement that the Lord had measured for you, man. All right. Hey, it even talks about how Jerusalem shall be measured, but it says, according to Gentiles shalt thou leave out, man. You know, so we're being measured right now. We have to walk according to that measure or according to that rule, which is a list of instructions that the Lord had given us. Yep.
That's what we're doing, man. That's what broke our people now. We don't have a standard, man.
That's right.
That's why we're ready to be taken down. So now the Most High is returning that standard to his elect, man.
That's right.
And that standard is the law of 10 commandments to great, man.
That's right, brother.
Faith in your house.
That's right. That's right.
You know? Peace be on them and mercy, and upon the Israel of the Most High.
Boy, he said peace and mercy belonging to them. So mercy ain't given to all you Israelites, man. But it's saying Israel, the Israel of the Most High. And that goes hand in hand with what we reading about in Jacob's trouble in Jeremiah 30, man. Because the Lord is talking about how he's going to bring judgment. And the only ones he's going to have mercy to in that day are going to be the Israel of God, man. You know?
This is verse 8 in Jeremiah 30. For it shall come to pass in that day, said Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from out thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
Right.
But they shall serve Yahweh their power, and David their king.
That's right.
Whom I will raise up unto them.
And that's what we're looking for right now, man. All right? That's what we're doing. That's only talking about the remnant, bro. Those are the only ones that are calling on to him. Okay? Those are the ones that are going to be saved, man. The ones that look for our power. And it says, look for David our king, because David is going to rule in the kingdom, man. All right, he's going to rule sitting under Yahweh. David is going to be, he is the first fruit of the 144,000. Okay? And we can end it off with this scripture because my phone, I got 5% left. My phone about to die.
Verse 10, therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity.
That's because he hears our prayers, man. It was commanded that if we pray unto the Lord in the land of our captivity, then will he maintain our cause. You read about that in the book of 1 Kings, the 8th chapter, the 49th verse, I believe. It's within verse 47 to 50. Okay? But it goes into, if you're in the land of your captivity where you got to serve your enemies, and if you bethink yourself and call upon his name, he's going to maintain your cause. And that's what the Lord is going to do for us, man. His elect, I should say, Lord willing, we're those men. Lord willing, we endure to the times that's to come. Because it's going to get serious out here, man. You know?
And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid.
That's right. That's right, man. And that's what we're looking for. That's what the elect are looking for, man. All right? We're going to end it off for a nap. My phone's getting ready to die. You know, I wish I had more batteries starting. Can't have my phone charged, but hey, I guess it fell off when I was asleep. You know? Yeah, that's all it is, man. But, you know, that's around the time anyway that we usually end. But we're going to end it off for a nap. Lord willing, this was edifying. We want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessing and much salutation to you, elect Dakyam, across the four winds of this earth, kicking this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to you all in the column board. Shalom.